Hello, and welcome to another gripping episode of Furries in the Media. I'm your host, Abergwine, and today, we're going international with our very first clip from outside the United States. Let's hop to it and check out a show from Australia called The Feed.
So I left school halfway through grade 11. I was bullied a lot by people because I didn't necessarily fit in. For me, it started off as a hobby, but over the years it's sort of become a bit more of a lifestyle.
I feel like the segue between topics here is a little awkward, but I think there still is a grain of truth here. Furries are slightly more likely than the average person to have been bullied at some point in their life.
So the term furry, it can be a very, very broad definition. It's just a group of people that share a similar interest to anthropomorphic characters and just hang out with each other and have a good time.
This is a great definition of what a furry is, and I love the fact that they even took the time to define anthropomorphism for further clarification for people who aren't familiar with the term. Good job!
A fursona is obviously a portmanteau of furry and persona, used to describe the animal character that someone has developed, usually themselves. It can be based off a fictional universe that already exists, or it can be entirely of their own making.
Yep, I'd say this is pretty spot on for how most furries go about creating their fursona.
And sometimes this can involve getting a costume made to represent that fursona.
I agree. From what I've seen in my time in the furry community, most furries will create their fursona before commissioning a fursuit. It's usually more about the concept of the character or the connection to that character, not so much wearing a costume for the sake of wearing a costume.
So one of the trademark features of the furry fandom is that some people that have the money or the resources are able to get fursuits made, which are full mascot costumes. They need to be custom made to reflect that person's persona, and they can be very expensive, upwards of $5,000.
You're looking impressive. This is actually my second suit, and this one was quite expensive due to the fact that I got LED lights, claws, I got some chest padding, because that's not actually how buff I am, unfortunately.
Yes, if a fursuit maker has to add custom features like LED lights or extra padding to the bodysuit, that will substantially increase the price of a fursuit.
Definitely for some people, there would be a sexual aspect that entices them towards the community, whether it's a fetish for anthropomorphic animal creatures or if they're just looking for fun and interesting people to meet. But I think for the majority, the sexual aspect is not necessarily a big deal.
I think she's right. The sexual aspect is there, but for the most part, a lot of people in the furry community don't partake in it.
Honestly, the whole fetish side of things, it's really a myth. There's not much to it at all. I'm not going to deny it, that it is a part, but it's probably, I'd say, less than 1%. It's mostly about the community, getting together and just enjoying life.
I'm not so sure that less than 1% is correct, but I can understand why he would say that. There are a lot of furries who don't want to be associated with the sexual content in our community, so they'll often downplay that side of it.
I definitely think finding the furry fandom, it's helped with my self-confidence a lot. It has shaped a lot of who I have been. I just enjoy who I am around all my friends, and it genuinely makes me happy to be there.
It helped me come out of my shell because beforehand I didn't have the confidence to sort of be myself in all of the strange aspects, barking loudly in public and doing the fun things that people pretending to be animals do. It is fun to sort of let loose and become a child again.
In my opinion, being a furry, just like having any other hobby, can serve as enrichment to complement and improve a person's quality of life. Now let's check out those review stats. Accuracy is 100%, and the spirit is also 100%, averaging out to another score of 100%. And a big congratulations goes out to The Feed. And now time for my thoughts. I've never been to Australia or even watched The Feed before starting this review, but I was very pleased with this clip. I loved that they got footage of these people doing what they normally do, such as at the very beginning where we see them sitting at a table playing a board game. It's just like any other group of friends who get together to hang out on a Friday night. Overall, the show seemed to treat furries with respect. They let the furries speak for themselves, and I feel that they presented the furry community in a beautifully accurate and positive light. Thank you again, Feed. Well, that's it for today's episode. Have fun, stay awesome. Bye-bye!
Traveling in a freighter car.